It'll happen today.
Well, I'll let it record a little bit. Diverter, I did. All the bass clear. All right, great. Welcome to the Dirtbag Chronicles. My name is Brian. I'm your host. This is episode 3, and we have an exciting guest on the show today. I'm super excited that she is here. Her name is Shannon. She's had many trips to jail. She's been in many rehabs and facilities to work on getting clean and living this lifestyle and get out of that dirtbag lifestyle that she was so caught up in. Man, I can't tell you how excited. I just got fucking chills. So let's do this. Go ahead, Shannon. Welcome to the Dirtbag Chronicles.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited that you're on the show. I know a little bit about you, and we have a little past together. You used to come into the reentry program that I was in on, I think it was Tuesday nights or Thursday nights.
Tuesday.
And you would sit down and share with all of us guys there. And I really enjoyed hearing a lot about what you were talking about and sharing your story with us. So I kind of wanted to bring you on the show so that you could share that with more people, because I really believe that us as an addict, we have a story that really touches the lives of others. And only your story can reach out to people that can relate with you. You know, I can't relate with everybody, but I know that somebody will be able to hear what you have to say and be like, fuck, that's for me, you know?
Absolutely.
So go ahead and just kind of share a little bit about yourself and why it's so important to carry out this message to the other addicts.
Okay, well, my name is Shannon Ward, and I was born February the 10th, 1969.
Dang.
Good year. And born to an alcoholic, so I really believe that I had the gene,
Yeah.
I guess, what you
Yeah.
would say. Some people think that they were born addicts, and I truly believe that I was definitely born an alcoholic. My mom and dad were high school sweethearts, and they got married and had my brother, and then they had myself. And my mother would put us in our little station wagon, and I remember very, very vaguely, but I remember being in the back of the station wagon and going from bar to bar in North Little Rock, in Levy. I was a Levy rat. And
Okay.
so we went from bar to bar looking for my dad,
Okay.
and I say that I'm an alcoholic from birth. Like, I didn't come out holding a fifth of whiskey or anything like that.
Smoking a
But
cigarette,
yeah,
chilling,
no. But like, and I listened to the last podcast. I believe it was Aaron, and he was like, I spun around in circles.
Yeah.
Trying to feel that feeling. And I remember doing those
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and at a very, very young age. My mom got tired of looking for my dad, and so they divorced when I was 5.
Okay.
My other family members hooked my mom up on a blind date, and I think it was 6 weeks later. The ink wasn't even dry on the divorce decree, and my mother was going on a date and ready to get married to a man in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And he had a job and a home and a car and a total normal person,
Big difference than
And
what you just
yes,
experienced.
so different. Just normal, which most of us don't know what normal is, but that
Yeah.
was normal. Like, my family life was pretty normal. Like, we had dinner at 5, and went to school, got up and had breakfast together and all those things. So, like, I didn't have, that terrible childhood that some people go through. It was
Yeah.
pretty normal.
Yeah, that's what I
And
experienced too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so, but I like to change the way I felt,
Yeah.
and I really felt cool smoking cigarettes at 13,
No, I did too. Yeah.
and like I would go across the street to the neighbor's backyard, jump the fence, and there was Kmart right there. And so I looked older than I was,
Yeah.
and at 13 I could walk in there and buy a pack of cigarettes
Yeah.
and go down to the schoolyard and smoke the whole pack, like, till I was just sick in my
Sick as
stomach,
fuck. Yeah.
but I was so cool doing that.
Yeah.
And,
What kind of cigarettes did you smoke?
it was, cool,
Cool. Menthol.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
menthol.
Absolutely.
I love a menthol cigarette. So,
Do you
yeah.
still smoke today?
I vape.
Vape. Okay.
Yeah. I finally got rid of that, but
Yeah.
I don't know which is worse.
Yeah.
But
no.
anyway, yeah. So, I did that at 13, and then, I went into high school. Well, I was in junior high, and my best friend made the cheerleading squad, and I wasn't quite good enough to make. I was more of the, like to sneak out past where we were supposed to be, and
Yeah.
so she went on to the good side, I guess you would say, and I
Yeah.
went on to the other side, and
The dark side.
yes, which is really where my dirt bag started, I guess.
Yeah.
Skipping school, parking off of the parking lot at high school on the streets, and just doing the most. And I met up with some girls that were my type, and we went to the liquor store, and we'd buy a fifth of gin
Mm.
and 3 large ices at the gas station on lunch. And we would split it between 3 of us.
White girl wasted.
Yes. And, sometimes we'd go back to school and sometimes we wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I can remember, a time where I went back to school and I was just really loaded. I was just like, God, what did I do this for? And I started feeling like ill. And I remember going in the bathroom and just destroying the bathroom. It's just like, oh my gosh, let me just get out of
Now,
here.
destroying the bathroom,
Yeah.
does that mean throwing up
Oh,
or
yes, throwing
okay.
up red icy everywhere.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was just like,
Painted.
oh gosh. So like I started skipping more often,
Yeah.
and then I got into some fights, and I'm sure I was drunk when I was fighting. And so my mother sent me to my grandpa's house, which was in Levy. And that's where
Okay.
I went back to Levy, and my grandfather was old, so I could get away with everything.
Yeah.
And I got in a fight at school and sent me to the boys club. Boys and girls club is what it was back then, and the fighters, the 2 that were in the fight had to go in there together, and work it all out and stuff. It was kind of like treatment now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why do you think your mom wanted to send you to your grandpa's? Was it because she couldn't handle it, or do you? what do
yeah,
you-
well, because I was bad.
Yeah.
Like I was a tornado.
Yeah.
And I liked to yell a lot when I was younger. And if you didn't do it my way,
Yeah.
it was the highway. And
Yeah.
I would always boss my brother around, and I had a stepsister that came on weekends. And
Are you the youngest or
I
oldest?
am the youngest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
baby that could do no wrong. But I was bad.
Yeah.
And so my mother was just like, get out, you're going to have to go somewhere else, and I would be swinging at my parents and stuff and just crazy.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we're going to send you down to the grandpa, down to my daddy's.
Yeah.
And he's, military. So
Oh.
he's going to get you right.
Yeah. I bet.
No, that didn't. That just made it worse.
Yeah.
But so that was like my junior year in high school. And so I did that. I got into the fight. I was a troublemaker there at
Yeah.
Old Main High School.
Okay.
And
How big of a town do you think Levy is?
tiny. Well, I mean, it's part of North Little Rock, so
Yeah.
it's all right.
Still
people-
Pulaski County, though.
Yes.
Okay.
People would in big cities would say, "Oh, it's kind of little," but
Yeah.
uh, so I had to walk down to that boys club, and it was a long way away, and I would walk. And so then I was like, it's my senior year in high school. Can I come back and graduate with all my friends? Which I don't can't even really recall.
One
Very
friend.
yes, maybe two.
Yeah.
And so my mom agreed, and I got into a fight with my stepfather, and it was bad. And I swung on him, and he swung on me, and
Dang.
my head goosed up. And I'm not going to say anything. It was not abuse in any kind of
Yeah,
way.
okay.
It was what I needed,
Yeah.
And so my mom said, "Well, we're going to get you an apartment over here."
Oh, bet.
Yeah. And I was like,
Bet.
okay. And she go pay the rent.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to school. And I got this job at this record store. And it was just fun times.
Yeah.
At the record store, I met these girls that were much older than I am.
Yeah.
And
the record store used to be the cool hangout spot
it was
back in the day.
so cool.
Okay.
It was really
Okay.
cool. Like, this is back when the drugs were still fun.
Yeah.
And I was just getting started. And
what years was this record store job?
okay, well, I should have graduated in 87.
Okay, that was the year I was
So,
born.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. I'm a little older, a little maturer.
Yeah.
More mature, maybe I should say.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, these girls were so cool to me, and they did some really fun stuff on the weekends.
Yeah.
And like, we would go to concerts because, the record store gets all the concert tickets. And that was when Barton Coliseum was this great
Okay.
place to go for concerts. And, we'd get wasted,
Yeah.
and I'd start trying new things, and over the years in active addiction, like my drug of choice changed many times, so we just started getting ecstasy, and we were doing a lot of that. And it was so much fun going to concerts and stuff and loving everybody and everything. And then we got on an acid kick.
Oh yeah.
And so that was the favorite.
I
That was
loved it.
just like,
I loved it.
oh my gosh. As long as I could keep
Yeah.
my mind like knowing this is not real, Shannon.
Right.
But that was hard sometimes.
Right.
But I never, ever ended on a bad trip. Got
Yeah.
to take some more.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
some more because that'll help
yeah.
you get over the bad trip.
Yeah, a bad trip for me was like I didn't trip because I had taken too much fucking acid that week,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, yeah, I was living in my own apartment. My mom was paying all my bills, like definitely like just carrying the load, and I was just out there having a great time. I had a boyfriend, and we weren't really seeing eye to eye on things. He was a little bit better than I was, or should have been, and so like I was very unfaithful. Like I was very unfaithful to a lot of boyfriends that I had,
Yeah.
Because you get high and
Yeah.
it's like, okay.
Like, hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, one night he came flying through the bedroom window, like glass and all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy smoke.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And so my dirtbag self said, hold on, let me get dressed, And so he comes swinging. I grabbed a bat and opened the door. And of course, I'm not ready for any kind of like altercation, even though, he's busting windows out and everything else. And
this is at your apartment that your mom got you.
Yes.
That's paying the rent.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And we were all really, really, really high.
How old were you during this?
Oh, I was probably 20.
20? Okay.
Yeah, 20, 21 maybe.
Okay.
I doubt I was 21. I don't really recall when I turned 21 because I was so far into it
way before that.
Yeah. And so, you know, this new guy, you know, I was in love, of course. He had a pocket full of cocaine,
Yeah.
you know, and I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I like you.
Yeah.
You know, that back then it wasn't how cute you are or how much
Yeah.
like good job you had or anything like it's like
Sack chaser.
what is
Yeah.
what you got in your
Yeah,
pocket
absolutely.
that is what made you
Absolutely.
attractive, you know. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
power that comes with that sack is unreal.
absolutely crazy.
It's unreal. It's like,
crazy.
really?
Yes.
And like you can have 8-ball and still
Right.
have motherfuckers just chasing like, oh, give me some, give me
Yeah.
some. Yep.
Yeah. And so yeah, this guy taught me all kinds of stuff. How to sell dope and cut dope and get dope for free and still make money. And, you know, and I was like, you know, well, I'm going to marry you, dude. You know, and
Yeah.
eventually,
Might
yeah,
not be faithful, but
we got married. I was faithful.
what?
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
he had dope in his
Yeah.
pocket all the time.
Yeah.
So, you
You're
know,
faithful to that sack.
yes,
Yeah.
that was very, very
Yeah.
attractive. And so we had this beautiful wedding, 10 bridesmaids, 10 groomsmen, Catholic church,
Wow.
the whole deal.
That's an accomplishment to be
Sit-
getting high and doing all that.
Oh, yeah. And I was like popping Valium and everything else, going, I can't do this. I can't walk down the aisle. I can't walk down the aisle. Let me have another Valium. And so, you know,
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm here.
Zombie-fied.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got married and it was great. It was an open bar, of course.
Of course.
And my husband was a antique car refinisher.
Okay.
So they built antique cars from like the rusted out, and you know, it was like your own business. So nobody ever was tested or
Yeah.
looked at wrong.
Yeah.
Or you know, it was out in Pine Bluff, out in the outskirts. They had
Yeah.
this shop, and you know, we did a whole lot of stuff out there, and we had a whole lot of parties, and we moved out in the country, and we had this pool table room and all this stuff, and like people were just always coming, you know, and when doing cocaine, smoking one cigarette off another, like,
Yeah.
you know, and I was sitting in the corner. I never said anything to anybody, and I was just over there.
What do they call
smoking.
that when you light a cigarette? Monkey fuck or something like
Yes,
that? It's like
yeah,
where you take one cigarette and light it
exactly.
up.
And so, you know, I did that for 10 years.
Yeah. Wow.
10 years. I loved cocaine.
Yeah.
And you know, I was snorting cocaine and I was eating cocaine, and it was like my nose was like destroyed.
Yeah.
And so
Septum just over with.
yes.
Yeah.
And so, and my husband loved to beat the shit out of me on a regular.
Yeah.
Like, and I always knew when I was going to get that beaten, because like you could see
That
the
face,
soul
yeah.
just leave his body.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shit, you know, let's get ready to rumble.
Damn.
And you know, it went on for years like that, and I got my ass beat the worst before we ever went down the aisle. But you know, that dope in that pocket is so
Just-
strong
Yeah.
that
That's crazy.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
But when the loaded 22 was held to the head
Yeah.
and we were all really high, that was about all I could take. That was what kind of broke that
Yeah.
straw there. I had called the police on several occasions, and
Yeah.
I told him, I said, look, we're going to start a paper trail, because you beating me up all the time is just not working out for me that well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm going to call the police every time you put your hands on me. And so like 3 or 4 in
Yeah.
police reports is where the gun came out, and I called 911. This is after we had 2 children.
Wow.
One child was visiting his brother, which was his uncle Eric, and then the other child was at home in the bed. And you know, the gun came out. I was so scared, and I just knew I was going to die.
Yeah.
You know, and so I called 911, and then it really got bad after that. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. Let me call 9." This is back when we had landlines. He ripped the phone out of the wall, and I was like, "Oh
Kids will
god,
never experience ripping that phone out of the
no,
wall.
no!" Like when the whole box comes
Yeah.
out at you. Uh, I got to another phone. And I called him back, and I was like, "I'm sorry. This was a mistake.
Yeah.
My child accidentally dialed 911. Believe it or not."
Oh shit.
Because I was really afraid for my life at
Yeah.
that point. And so they had already made so many reports, like 3 or 4 reports already,
Yeah.
and
That paper trail.
they're
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, they're coming.
They're coming.
Yeah.
They come 3 cars deep, 6 cops deep, and they came busting through the door. "Jeff Ward, where are you? You are under arrest." And I was like, "Holy shit," and
I bet that was scary too.
it
Like,
was scary.
and exciting too,
It
because
was so scary.
like at a point of that, like you're like, I don't know, because I've never been in that situation, but like my thinking would be like, fuck, it's fucking happening. It's over. Like
Yes.
I'm saved. Like
Yes.
the police actually fucking helped me this time. And now, and I'm sure that all that feeling was just running through you at that time.
I wish that would have been the feeling that really got me to the point where
Okay.
enough is enough.
Yeah.
But that wasn't enough.
Okay.
But so the cop gets out, they handcuff him, they put him in the car. The gun's just laying right there because he just throws it down, and goes on about his business in his recliner watching a football game or whatever.
Yeah.
And
like nothing happened.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I just get up out of fetal position, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Oh my gosh, what?" And so they take him to the car, and they said, "Here's what we're going to do." And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You're going to sign on the dotted line, and we're going to press charges. The state will take over. He will go to jail. You will get an order of protection." I said, "Oh, hell no. That is not how it's going to work." I said, "Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Do you know who his parents are? Do you know how much money they have?" I said, "He'll be out in 24 hours, and he's coming after me, dude.
Yeah.
You just don't know."
Fuck.
And so we had this conversation for like 45 minutes, it seemed like. I don't
Yeah.
even really know. It's been so long ago.
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, we're going to," this one child that had slept through all of it. He said, "We're going to take this child, and then we're going to go over to the Uncle Eric's, and we're going to get the other child, and we're going to go take him to DHS.
Shit.
And you'll be lucky to see him in 30 days in a courtroom." I said, "I'll sign. Where do I sign?" And I signed on the dotted line, and the process started, and the state did take over, and they did take him to jail. And I did get an order of protection.
Yeah. Did it work?
Well, it worked for a little while, yes.
Okay.
And I started cleaning the house out. Like, I went to an attorney. I got an attorney, filed for divorce. I started cleaning the house. I took everything. By God.
Get them.
Yes. You done this to me. I'm going to
Yeah.
get this for you.
Yeah.
I took all his stuff, pool table and everything, And
Did you leave his recliner or did you take it
oh
too?
no, I took it too. I
Take
took it all. It was empty house when I left.
Yeah.
And so I had 30 days to do that. And I moved. My mother stepped in, and my mother was like, she knew there was some stuff going on. She knew when he hadn't left marks on my face and stuff.
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Look, your grandpa just passed away. You can move into this house in Levy." I'm back in Levy again.
Okay.
And we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You got 2 kids, bring the kids, they'll have their own room. And it was just like perfect setup.
Yeah.
Free. There goes mama, enabling again. Giving you this. So,
Yeah.
you're going to be happy and
Yeah.
get a job. And I'd been going through cosmetology school,
Okay.
which is another party
Yeah. Absolutely.
situation.
Absolutely.
And I got my first job as a stylist, and I moved to Levy, and my children came with me. I filed for divorce, and it took 2 years to get a divorce my husband walked in the courtroom. I'm so sorry. I just want my family back, and just really messing with my feelings.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? What do you
Yeah.
do? But then on the weekends, he's parked a block from my house in my carport, which, is an older house. So the carport is just like a brick without a door on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would hang out in there. And when you've been married or in a relationship for 12 years,
Yeah.
the only guy you've had sex with besides that one other one,
Yeah.
it's like,
there's always Jody.
yeah. And so when I
Yeah.
moved into my own place, it was like, oh, is this how we do it?
Yeah.
So I'm back into the party scene. I'm clubbing every night. I got people keeping my kids that don't even know my kids
Right.
and just doing the most.
Yeah.
And I became the dope man,
Uh-oh. All right.
and oh,
All right.
yeah,
So
it got
dirtbag shit for real.
for real. This
For
is
real, for
where it
real.
really
Yeah.
got started,
Okay.
and so, um, and I lived across the street from a police officer.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that police officer had his police car parked on the street right in front of my house, which didn't bother any of my customers.
Yeah.
They came right on in.
Yeah.
Like, I said, come on to the house with the cop car out front, and they're like, what?
What?
And I'm like, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
And, just all night long, 24/7. The vicious cycle got really bad.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what you had or what you were selling. I wanted a part of it.
Right.
And I can get rid of the most
Right.
because I got lots of friends and I go to the club every night with the pocket full, just doing the most.
Yeah.
And turned that house into the big trap house.
Yeah.
And, we were up all night long. My children started wanting to go spend the night with Mimi, which was my mom. And they didn't want to come home. At one point in time, my mom started making this little file, which I had no idea about. I have it now. But it was all this evidence of the things that I was doing and pictures.
Ooh.
Like, she would come through the house when I was at work. I don't know how I kept a job, but of course, hairstyling is a pretty party situation.
Yeah, that's your own schedule.
Yes,
Making tips, having cash.
all the
It's like
time.
drug dealing, really.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just partied on. And so my kids wanted to go to Mimi's, and then I would call and say, I'm on my way to pick you up. And they were like, can we just stay one more night? I was like, hell yeah.
I was hoping you'd ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay another night,
Yeah.
And I never did it enter my mind that my children didn't want to come home,
Right.
and not until,
Yeah, that's a tough realization. Like once you're clean and understand how important that was, because
right,
those, I've missed out on my son's entire life, entire childhood, pretty much. I haven't missed out on
right,
his entire life yet, but his entire childhood. And like, I used to not have to feel the feeling of not being there.
right. Changing the way we feel.
Yeah. And so when we
That's-
feel that feeling of not being there, well, then we can get high or drunk, and then we feel the feeling of being high and drunk, and that shit doesn't even matter to us anymore.
Absolutely.
But like
Yes.
when you get clean, what I kind of went through was like, damn, I missed out on so much.
Right.
And like it hurt, it hurt bad, but it was a good hurt because I was clean and I could look back and say, well, I'm not going to do that shit again.
Right.
I'm going to, if I ever get another chance to have a child, which would, I really hope I do, I'm going to take more advantage of that situation and try to do the best that I could possibly do because of what the recovery has done for me.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like understanding like, damn, like I was such a dirtbag. Like I was hoping that my kids would stay with their Mimi just so I could go and fucking party.
Right.
Yeah, that's big. That's
Right.
big.
And so, methamphetamine was the big deal.
Yeah.
And
this is when it was like that red meth. Like it was real shit.
real shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Like
Real
a little bit
shit.
would keep you up for days.
Days.
And
The
like
first
spun you
time
out,
that
yeah.
I tried it, they gave me this tiny little microscope little dot, and I was like,
what the fuck is this?
I've been doing lines this long of cocaine. What the fuck you think that's going to do for me? It's not going to do anything. I stayed up for 3 days on that little microdot pile.
Yep.
I mean, I went to Dallas, Texas, saw Pink Floyd, came back, and
Still
partied
partying.
down.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, where do I get some of that?
Yeah.
And so, of course, that was the new drug of choice.
Right.
I was thinking, somebody, thank you for getting me off cocaine.
Yeah.
It was tearing my nose up. I was learning how to freebase. It was tearing my stomach up. Like I could, but I couldn't stop.
Right.
So I continued on, nosebleed, everything else, stomach tore up, but I was still trying to get high. And then this came along.
Yeah.
Little did I know it was going to just take me down through there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, thank you for getting me off of cocaine.
Right.
But
yeah, that's how I felt with it when it got me off alcohol and Xanax. Like I always need something to get me off something.
Yes.
And I needed the methamphetamine to get me off of the alcohol and the Xanax. And then I needed the institution to become incarcerated to get me off the methamphetamine.
Right.
But yeah, so the meth saved you from the coke, which the coke was just fucking your whole world up.
Yes.
And your body up and your health up and everything. And then you're like, fuck yeah, the meth is saving my life. This is great.
I think I was doing 8 ball a day on cocaine.
Yeah.
And then I was doing like a quarter for like a whole week.
Yeah.
Save
some money too. Huh?
Right. And and then I met some friends that learned how to, make their own.
Right.
And I became the runner.
Okay.
And I got in the car and I did this great big circle around Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
I bought 2 boxes here, 2 boxes here, 2 boxes here, 2 boxes here.
Sudafed.
And I'm pushing them through the thing, putting them all in one bottle. So I'm not a person that likes to litter. And I didn't even like to litter in active addiction. But like I'm throwing these boxes out the window and I'm pushing them through. And I've got this little bottle down between my legs and I'm pushing them through. And I go around 3 times a day. So every shift change, I would make my circle, and I'd take them back to my dude. And
this is before they regulated that. And
oh yeah. This is right when the Tri-County Drug Task Force was invented.
Yeah.
And they were like going to put a stop to methamphetamine.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no, you're not.
Can't stop this shit.
There's too many of us and not enough of y'all.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was so on. And my ex-husband at the time somehow had a friend that was related to or friends with or something with somebody in the drug task force, and like he would call me because he still loved me and I still loved him. We just couldn't be together,
And this is your ex-husband or your
my 2 kids' daddy.
Okay, so
I had
the
2
one that
boys.
would beat you.
Yes.
He got clean?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No. But he had friends in high places.
Okay.
And he was always so resourceful.
Yeah.
And so he would call me and say, get out the playground. And I would be like, what are you talking about? He said, get out of the playground. Wherever you are, you need to get out of. So he would keep me safe.
Wow.
From the drug task force or whatever.
Yeah. And that is love.
Well, and I loved him too. I still love him.
Yeah.
I will never be in love with him.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he loved you, but he had some kind of love for you to protect you from.
Yes.
Because he must have known what what
Yes.
prison was like or something to be like,
Well,
yo,
no,
bitch,
and
get the
and
fuck
and
out the way.
really, I think it was, I saved him from going to prison at one point.
Okay.
There were charges filed terroristic threatening against a family member, which
Okay.
you could serve 3 years for that.
Yeah.
It was a felony
Yeah.
charge, and he was really threatening to kill me. And
Yeah.
so they wanted me to testify, and I was like, no.
Did he get charges for when he beat you and
Oh
with
yeah.
the?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so but it was a misdemeanor.
Um, there was a felony. I don't know if it was that day or because it continued on.
Yeah.
Like I said, he was in my carport
Right.
all the time,
Right.
like and smoking anhydrous. I don't know if you ever knew about that stuff, but
Yeah.
that was just crazy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Anyway, he ended up in jail. He jumped on a train down in the Levy area. Just craziness. This is just the crazy
Country boy outlaw
lifestyle.
shit.
Yes. And it was just crazy. But yeah, so my friends started cooking and I started running, and I would go over to stores and buy, acetone, this and that, and
Yeah.
all the stuff. And we would cut strips off matches all night long, and
Golly.
I remember getting the first time, I thought I was going to take the tip off the match, I thought that's where the red phosphorus
Yeah.
was. No, it's the strip that you strike the match on. I was like, oh, okay.
Duh.
So then we
Yeah.
started cutting all those strips and then putting them in, and shaking that. It
Yeah.
was just crazy. And so I didn't really want to know the full process.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to prepare.
Okay.
I knew how to get it started.
Okay.
And then when it was time to gas it off, like I left. It's like
Yeah.
I don't want to know everything.
Yeah.
I don't have that much discipline.
Right.
I don't want to know everything. Leave something out
Right.
so I don't go on and try this all by myself.
Yeah. And blow your face off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So then I changed boyfriends once again, and the new boyfriend wanted me to be his snow. And so I had to learn how to gas, and I had to pump that bug sprayer. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's just craziness.
So you said snow. What does that mean exactly?
That means putting the bug sprayer in the jar, and then it turns
Okay.
into, it makes it
Okay.
snow. And so then you pour it through
All right.
dirtbag shit.
Dirtbag shit.
Dirtbag shit. And we would go to this trailer in Conway, and we would have to clean the trailer up before we could even start to cook the dope.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. And it just went on and on and on.
Yeah.
It was just craziness. Needless to say, I couldn't keep a job. Drugs became my job.
Okay.
And
Lifestyle. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
men became my life.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't provide for me what I needed, because I have a house,
Yeah.
and so of course we started cooking at my house,
Right.
and that carport was off from the house.
Right.
So my best thinking was, the police come, like, I don't know what they're doing out there.
Yeah.
What?
What?
So stupid. Anyway, so, I just went to jail a lot.
Yeah. In county jail though, right? You've never been to prison, have
No.
you? Okay.
Got lucky.
Yeah.
Really lucky.
Yeah.
I should be in prison today.
Yeah.
I really should be.
I think we all should, but
Yeah, for a long, long time. Thank God I'm not.
yeah, absolutely.
And the partying just got worse. The amounts went from small amounts to large amounts. Drug task force shut that ephedrine down for
Yeah.
sure. And I was like, wow, how did
Right.
this happen?
Right.
And then the Mexicans came in and started providing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And,
The cartels, not the actual Mexican race, but the cartels. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to label. I don't want to label them. It's
Yes, I'm sorry. You're right.
Okay.
Cartel came through bringing their bags of ice. And,
okay.
Um,
Shout
Yeah.
out to all the Mexicans.
yeah. Shout out. I
Shout
love
out.
I love the Mexicans.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the vicious cycle just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop. My mother decided it was time to take my children away. And so she called my ex-husband, that one that loved me,
Yeah.
and
So dearly.
said, "You're going to change custody or I am," and then she opens the file of all the pictures
Oh,
and all
shit.
and the kitchen was like, oh my gosh, there was just liquor bottle after liquor bottle after liquor bottle. Open the refrigerator, there's nothing but beer in there. And I'm like, oh my God, is this how I live?
So Mama saw this shitstorm coming
Yeah.
years before it happened.
Yes.
And it's like my thinking is fucking twisted. But like I'm thinking like, okay, so Mama saw this shit coming, and now she's like waiting for the crash to happen,
and it doesn't
so
happen.
she prepared for it, but enabled you kind of
to
crash.
keep on going, really.
Yeah.
Not to crash, but to just continue on.
Yeah.
And it just continued on,
Right.
and worse and worse and worse.
Right.
Worser and worser.
Yeah.
The worst it could possibly
Yeah.
be. And I was so tired. And so we went into a courtroom, and during the divorce and the first custody battle, I had my family. I had this high-paid attorney. I looked good. I felt good. Back then, I could stop doing dope long enough to go into a courtroom setting. This time I wasn't so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't quit long enough to go in and stand up for my children. I was so high I couldn't walk straight. I had no attorney. I had to represent myself because I forgot court was tomorrow.
Yeah.
Court's tomorrow, and I got to go in court, and I don't have an attorney. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? And so I walk in there looking as good as I possibly can.
Ratchet as fuck.
Walking sideways.
Doing the Matrix song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they, my children, my ex-husband got custody of my children.
Wow. 2
boys went to live with their daddy. And he told me, he said, and I told him, I said, it was so bad, y'all. I lied. I got on the stand. I lied. I had a job. I said I did this, and I was doing lessons for cosmetology schools and all this grand things that I was not doing.
Right.
And
do you think they knew that was bullshit, or do you?
Do I think they knew at the time?
At the time, no.
At the
but
time,
now,
I thought I was looking good, feeling good, and I was like superstar cosmetologist,
queen shit on Turd Island.
Yes, until she said, temporary custody is going to your ex-husband, and you can come back in this courtroom when you change your entire life. And I was like, my parents were on his side. Sitting behind him, paid for his attorney, had this file of evidence that was just astronomical.
Wow.
And I thought my lies preceded all of that. I thought I was going to. And when she said that, I just started ugly crying.
Yeah.
Like, like I can't even hold my composure.
So this man, he comes from like being the dope plug.
Yeah, teaching me everything.
And pretty much set you up for all this failure.
Yeah.
Beats the fuck out of you.
Yes. And then he
scares you to the point of death where you call the police on him. Mm-hmm. Then you're like, fuck it, I can't take any more of this. So yeah, where do I sign? You get the kids, you put a protection order on him. And I don't know his side of the story, but he's got to be going through some shit too while dealing with all this.
Absolutely.
And so and how many years do you think have passed between the courtroom and that night that he held the gun to your head?
Well, it took like 3 years to finalize the divorce.
Okay.
And there was nothing to fight over.
He either made progress in becoming a more functioning addict.
Very much so. Very much so.
And just was able to stay kind of balanced with the addiction.
Yes.
And you just kind of fucking did what all
I
addicts
didn't.
do and
I
just
don't give a
fucking
fuck.
yeah,
I don't give a
yeah,
fuck. I don't care who knows I'm getting high because I'm gonna get you high too.
yeah,
We're all gonna get high in the room together.
right,
Like, I'm not hurting anybody but myself.
yeah,
That was my thinking.
yeah.
Like, I did not realize.
Just eat and fuck it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
And just like destroying every feeling I ever had.
yeah,
Just like make it go away
yeah.
because that's what we do. And she said, you can't have visitation. She said,
Damn.
not Christmas, not Thanksgiving,
Right.
not anytime. And you're going to pay child support. And I'm like, and that made me like,
Yeah. Wait, what?
child support?
Pay?
I said, how am I going to pay child support? I don't have a job. She said, ma'am.
What? Oh, now
you
you
just testified in a court of law that you have this fabulous job.
Yeah.
You're going to pay minimum support.
Yeah.
It's like $35 a week or something.
Yeah.
Something just minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could do that.
Right.
She said, prepare your children to move to their fathers. I'm like, can I be dismissed? Can I please be dismissed?
Yeah.
She was like, no, ma'am, you're going to sit here. And so this started again. And I was just like, and I thought to myself, I'm going to kill myself when I leave this courtroom.
Right.
I can't even think straight. My car was parked. I don't know if you've ever been to the courthouse in Pulaski County. Circuit Court is the big one across from the DoubleTree.
Yeah.
My car's parked on the road, like 2 cars back, like you could see it from the top of the steps.
Yeah.
Took me 45 minutes to find my car. When I finally was able to leave out of that, she said, you're going to sit here and you're going to listen to what's happening to your children. And I was like, I just need to be dismissed.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, ma'am.
No.
Sit here.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I'm going to drive my car off the 430 bridge once I find it.
Right.
That was my whole plan.
Right.
But then I thought, wait a second. I'm living in this house in Sherwood because my mother finally said, get out.
Of your grandpa's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get out. We're selling this house. Get out.
Right.
That was after I lived there 6 months without water, electric, and gas.
I've done that. Wow. I've done the same shit. I've lived in places
Dirtbag shit.
Yeah,
right
dirtbag shit. Yeah.
Still using the toilet.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And so I started loading myself up into a U-Haul and then went to court and they took my children and they didn't take my children. I gave my children away.
Right.
I can't ever say that my children were taken from me because I allowed it to happen.
Yep.
Which brings a whole lot of guilt and a whole lot of shame.
Mm-hmm.
And makes me want to use on top of.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm driving my car and I'm like, I want to go across. I want to go over this bridge. I just want to drive through the side and just down into the water. That's what I want to do.
Yep.
But wait a minute. My boyfriend's in Sherwood cooking a batch of dope. God. The only thing that saved my life that day was knowing that I was going to get high once I got home.
Yeah.
This is terrible. Terrible.
The high saved the high.
Yeah. You're fine.
Wow.
And so, yeah. It was terrible. It was a terrible day. And my boyfriend thought that was a good day to quit. I was like, no, sir, we're not quitting today.
We're getting high.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, okay, today's your last day.
Yeah.
I think it's time. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the kind of addict that I was.
Bye.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, the judge said I have to change my entire life. So let me see what rehab is about.
Okay.
Let me try this and see what's happening. I remember my mom sitting outside the courtroom in the bench, outside the courtroom door, looking up at me saying, Shannon, we just want you to get some help. We just want you to get some help. And I'm like, okay.
Now, who's asking for this help?
My mom.
Your mom. Okay.
My mom was like, we just want you to get help. And I was like thinking to myself, I don't need no help.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm not hurting nobody but me.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to get high.
Yeah. You need help.
Yeah.
You need help trying to
right.
ask me for help.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I went ahead. I checked myself into treatment. I met a dude, another guy,
Yeah.
because I'm not only addicted to drugs, I'm addicted to drugs. I'm addicted to the lifestyle. I'm addicted to the clubs, the bars, the
Mhm.
scene, and the guys.
Right.
And, you know, ended up, they got thrown out of treatment because they put boys and girls together.
Yeah.
And they want to find out how well you're going to follow the rules, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And so you're not supposed to speak to the guys.
Yeah.
But then we have class all day together. And so, we're all eyeballing each
Yeah.
other and stuff.
Yeah. That's
And
how it
we're,
was at Quapaw when I went there.
that's where I
Yeah.
was. That is exactly where I was. And so we started passing notes and sticking them in the Coke machine, the return
Yep.
change.
Yep.
And
Did the same thing.
yeah. And so, like, they did a search on the rooms, and somebody kept their notes or something and put them up in the drop ceiling.
Yeah.
And they found them, and they were some pretty graphic notes. And so they brought us all back together and said, look, this is an honest program.
Yeah.
We're going to see how honest you can be.
Yeah.
And so we're going to get out a piece of paper, and you're going to write down anyone's name that ever gave you a note or anyone's name that you ever gave a note to.
Yeah.
And so there were two guys that had passed me notes, and they were sitting right behind me.
They're sweating.
And I looked back and I said, like, I'm fixing to tell on you.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. This is an honest program.
Oh, she telling it?
And so I did. I wrote their names down, and they didn't write my name down, and nobody else wrote anybody else's name out.
Dirtbag morals.
And so everyone got thrown out but me.
Oh, wow.
And I got to stay because I was honest.
Wow.
But I decided that I'm going to pack my bags and go with my friends,
Yeah.
and I'm going to walk out because that's the way we do
Yeah.
it. And I did not realize that they had been there long enough to get their completion papers. I, on the other hand, had not been there that long.
Yeah.
And so I did not complete treatment. And, it wasn't but days before I was back doing exactly what I was doing before.
Right. Do you think that time in that rehab, do you think it started to plant some seeds for you to...
Not that time, no.
Okay.
Maybe the next time.
Okay.
So I've been to all the treatments around this surrounding area. I've been to Quapaw. I've been to, they had a Barb's place at one time where you could take your children. I spent 75 days there. I love that place. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave. They made me take a weekend pass. And I'd been there for over 45 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is good. I like this. And I did get the seed planted there.
Yeah.
And it was good. My daughter was there. I had another child in active addiction.
Okay.
We'll get back to that in a second. But like, she got to go with me, and it was so much fun, and learning how to live life on life's terms. They wanted to test me, I guess, and send me out. But all I had to go back to was the dope man's house. My parents didn't speak to me. My brother hated me, and it was just a bad situation. All my friends got high, and I thought that there's no way that, how's anyone ever going to get clean? Nobody's ever got clean off methamphetamine.
Right.
It's a way of life.
Right. Nobody that you knew.
No, right.
Yeah.
That's my world.
Yeah.
I've always lived in my world.
Right.
Nobody else's.
Right.
And,
yeah.
But yeah, out in active addiction, like, those two children were taken away, and I just continued to get high. That treatment facility didn't work. I went back to doing what I was doing. And, after a couple of years, I needed a baby. I needed another child to take the place of the two boys. And I always wanted a girl. Always, always, always. Like both of my boys were named Abby Elizabeth before they were born.
Your boys were.
Yes,
Okay.
because that was it, I always wanted a girl, and my higher power was not going to give
Yeah.
me another boy
Yeah.
after the first boy
Right.
that I cried for.
Yeah, it never turns out the way that you expect it.
No, and then I thought, well, higher power saw how upset I was getting this boy the first time. Surely
Yeah.
the second one's going to be a girl.
Yeah.
So I unpacked all the pink stuff, and I still made the bed in the room and everything pink.
Yeah.
And then the ultrasound came and said, "You're having a boy." It's like, really?
Really?
And so I had two
Like,
boys, which
oh.
are fabulous, fabulous kids.
Yeah.
Today they are, I hope I get this right, 29 and 27. And so they're grown, and we have a fabulous relationship.
Awesome.
And but I had to replace those two with, which I knew was going to be a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hooked up with another guy that cooked dope a lot, and I fed him Viagra till I got pregnant. Yeah, because I manipulate every
Want a
situation.
ham sandwich?
Yeah, every situation. No, I would just say, here, take this.
Take this.
Here, take this.
Yeah.
I can't take them anymore. They're killing me. I like, take it.
My head's pounding. Yeah.
And so, I got pregnant, and he sent me to the clinic several times, and with a pocket full of money. And like the two pregnancies before I got clean while I was pregnant, it was good. I think I did a little dabble in the second pregnancy.
Yeah.
Once, and the baby started kicking and rolling, and I was like, oh, I can't do this,
Right.
And so
you were able to stop
both of the pregnancies before.
Yeah.
The last one I
Yeah.
couldn't.
Wasn't happening.
No.
Yeah,
So
and it's not that you didn't want to. It's just that
just
the
couldn't
fucking addiction
stop.
couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't stop.
Yeah, it's crazy how sick that shit is.
Couldn't
Yeah.
stop. So I made a deal with myself. One bowl a day. This is before I ever put a needle in my arm. So one bowl a day, so I don't kill anybody,
Right.
especially her daddy, because
Yeah.
her daddy just continued on like nothing ever happened,
Mhm.
because he thought I was going to take care of the problem. And no, he'd give me a pocket full of money. I'd go to the abortion clinic, and then I would leave, and I would go get more dope. It was crazy, crazy. And I just couldn't stop, and I couldn't keep to the bowl a day habit. It was terrible.
Yeah.
For some reason, this is right when Garrett's Law had come out. Garrett's Law was, if anyone thinks you're high at the hospital, they're calling DHS.
Yeah.
And so I was one of those people at this point in time where my addiction took me to the computer, and I'd be up for days on the computer just trying to, I was getting smart.
Yeah.
And
So smart.
right. And so for some reason, my higher power doing for me what I couldn't do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
2 months before her due date, I quit.
Wow.
And she came a month early, 4 weeks early. And so I was clear of everything. Don't know.
Lucky dog.
Yes. I told you before, I'm lucky. That's the only reason I haven't done prison time.
Yeah.
And this is the only reason why she got to go home with me that day. Tried to breastfeed, but I had this pipe over here immediately. So I would try to pump the bad milk out, pour it down the drain.
Yeah.
Then I'd let her, and she started failing to thrive. So she started losing weight.
Of course.
It was just too much. And I was smoking dope in Children's Hospital. She had an IV in her head.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and I'm in the bathroom.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop. Dirtbag.
Yeah.
Like hoping I don't get caught from the doctors in the bathroom. Right. And, I went to a couple more treatment facilities. That one, Barb's place, she went with me. they made me go on that pass, and I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
I got so high.
And you had 45
I,
days clean, right? Yeah.
yes. I was on a 3-day weekend pass.
Yep.
And I went to Discovery Club.
Been there a couple times.
I took 3 hits of acid.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm supposed to go back to treatment tomorrow. It's Sunday, you know? I called the treatment facility up. I said, I can't come back. I said, I'm going to trigger the whole building. I said, I'm so high, I can't walk straight. I want to come back so bad. I need to come back. What do I do? And they were like, I don't know what to tell you. Call us tomorrow. Click. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah. The people that have been there for you so
have I
much,
done?
and then just like,
I just couldn't. I don't even know how it happened.
yeah.
Before I knew it, I was high.
Yep.
And so I'm high off methamphetamine. I might as well do some acid.
Right.
Whose idea was that?
Yeah.
You know?
Shout out Discovery.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was just continued on. It was terrible, terrible. It was a terrible ending. I hit rock bottom. I ended up homeless. You know, nobody wanted to pay my rent anymore. My baby's daddy was paying the rent at a little garage apartment down the street just so I wouldn't come back to his house, you know.
Damn.
And I had this little baby that I filled her diaper full of little bags of dope, and I got in my old truck my dad gave me, and off around to the city I went delivering dope and trying to make $1, and nothing was working.
Yeah.
I was so tired.
Yeah.
I got what I thought was a job, which really wasn't because they didn't pay me anything. But I was a cosmetology instructor at a cosmetology school.
Okay.
And I was taking the owner nice packages every day, you know. And I got a phone call and said, and I used to take my daughter with me, you know, and she would be in the little classroom coloring and doing her thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one day she was so sound asleep when I got up and I got ready. Well, I'd already been awake.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I didn't sleep a lot, you know. And she looked so peaceful, and I was like, I'm just going to leave her here.
Oh, man.
And her dad, it was a trailer. Her dad lived on one side, and I lived on the other side. When her room was right there beside my room. And I was like, I'm just going to leave her here today. You know, she's sleeping, and she's sleeping good. And her daddy was like, sure. You know, and no problem. I got her. Well, he calls the babysitter over because his girlfriend over across town is needing something.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up running some stop signs or just kind of, you know, California roll.
Yeah.
And got pulled over. And, you know, he was on parole. He'd already been down.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
This was the 4th. And because I love ADC numbers.
Yeah.
You ain't got an ADC number like
can't fuck with you.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
So he was going back. They arrested him, and they called me on the phone, on my cell phone, which was the little flip phone back in the day, and said, "Look, your daughter's here." And I was like, "Okay, where are you?" Well, we're at her dad's house, and her dad has been arrested, and the babysitter has been arrested. And you need to come and pick your daughter up. And me being so high was like, okay.
Great idea.
I'm on my way. And hung the phone up, and I was like, oh my God. And of course, I had attorneys on speed dial back then.
Yeah.
And so I call one, and he says, do not go get her. So I hang up, I call another one. I'm like, what do I do? I said, it's a 50-50. He goes, you want to go to jail? Go get her. And I said, it's a 50-50 chance. And I'm so high, I can't walk straight again.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's a good idea to go get her. But I'm going to have somebody else drive me because I'm driving on suspended.
Yeah.
And fictitious tags that I made out of a reflective sticker.
Yeah. Did it work?
No, no. I mean, it worked for a minute.
Look good like this, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, everything works real good for a minute. And I took off, and I got out of the car it was a one-way in and a one-way out. You had to go in the same way you come out.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm coming in, 6 undercover Ford Explorers or whatever.
Yeah, the
And
important
then
ones.
one marked car in the back. And I saw her daddy in the back. And they're all filing out. And I pass and go onto the house. And of course, no one's there. And one of the explorers came back and said, get in the truck and I'll take you to your daughter.
Huh.
I said, oh, no, sir. I said, we played this game before.
Yeah.
Because I've been here before. You've done this before, and I know who you are. He said, I'll take you to your daughter. We took her to the DHS office. You can pick her up there. I said, and he went, click. He said, you're under arrest. Get in the truck.
Damn.
6 felonies later.
Damn.
Yes. With a piece of paper.
Well, they're sneaky, ain't they?
They are ruthless.
And we're so gullible when we're
Yes.
fucked
And
up.
I'm
We're just
Billy
like,
Badass
okay.
over here. I'm not
Yeah.
going with you. I've done
Yeah.
this before.
50-50 shot
Yeah,
on.
right. 50-50 the
Yeah,
wrong way.
Yeah, about a 99.9.
Yeah, so I was charged with 6 felonies. I went to
Mm.
Pulaski County Jail,
Yeah.
and they handed me a piece of paper that said, you know, custody. You no longer have a daughter. Your daughter is custody of the state of Arkansas.
Mm.
And that was it.
Mm.
That was like the straw that broke the whole back.
Yeah.
And desperation set in.
So this right here is your rock bottom.
This is rock bottom.
This
is what was rock bottom.
Yeah. This is that understanding of like, fuck.
Yes.
Like if I don't change, nothing is going to change.
But I don't know how I'm going to change.
Yeah.
Because I've done it.
Yeah.
I've tried it.
I've been to rehab.
I've done all these things. The other 2 kids were taken away. It didn't help.
It doesn't get better. Yeah. Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And so, you know, a friend of mine bailed me out of jail. One of my customers.
Yeah.
And
probably because they wanted some more dough.
Right.
Yeah.
And I bailed her daddy out of jail. And I said, let's go get our daughter. He was like, we can't. I said, what do you mean we can't? Because, you know, this had happened before. DHS didn't get involved. But, like, my daughter was with his mother.
Yeah.
And he was still in prison. And he was like, don't give her back until I get out. And so I was like, let's go get her. He's like, we can't this time. I said, what do you mean we can't this time? He said, what does the paper say? And I lost it.
Yeah.
Like, where is she?
Yeah.
He said, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know?
Yeah.
You know, and he's been through the same situation as I had just then.
Yeah.
But even worse because, you know, he watched them destroy the house, tear it up while my daughter was like running around in the backyard, going out to the marked car that they had parked on the back 40 of the yard because it was like 3 acres.
Yeah.
And so she would run. The babysitter was in the garage with her hands behind her back. And he was out in the marked car with his hands locked up behind his back. And my daughter's running back and forth, drying the tears off their face.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, which I didn't know at the time, you know, and so I got out of jail and I finally understood that the state had custody and that my daughter was in foster care.
Yeah.
That she was somewhere that I didn't know.
Had no control.
No,
yeah.
They weren't going to tell me.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah, because they saw you as that danger. They saw you as that threat to your own child's life. And that's a hard fucking pill to swallow.
A hard one.
Yeah.
Even though the other 2 were gone.
Yeah.
And
it's like, it's my child.
Right.
It's mine. It's not yours.
Right.
And then that's kind of where we like take children as like property,
Yeah.
and we treat them as such in
Yeah.
situations like it's my fucking kid. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly.
And we get that attitude, and really,
Thank
people
God for DHS.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah. Which I think the DHS system is, there's no system out there that is fully
No.
good
100% perfect. No.
and I think that they do some corrupt shit, but
in all
in
reality,
that situation, that was
thank
what was
you.
the best. Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yep.
and so I got out of jail, and they were supposed to serve me with papers 24 hours. And it said on there, 24 hours, process server will be there to give you a court date
Mm-hmm.
to find out what happens
Mhm.
next.
Yep.
And I cried myself to sleep. I woke up. I would eat a little something. I'd cry myself back to sleep. I'd wake up, and I'd been up for so long. So it was nothing to sleep and sleep and sleep and cry and cry and cry
Yeah.
and sleep some more,
Yeah.
because like I was very fogged out, didn't know what was happening, didn't know what was going on. 7 days later, they finally knocked at the door
Wow.
and brought the papers.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't done anything in 7 days. And it said, be at court 8 o'clock the next morning. I was like, okay, all right, now we got a plan.
Yeah.
Now I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And my daughter was there in the courtroom. And 7 days later, I thought, I'm good. I'm going to piss clean.
Yeah.
7 days is a long time.
Yeah. It only takes 3 to get
Yeah.
dope. Yeah, that's what we believe.
That's what we said.
Yeah.
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 3 days. I've done 3 days twice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then a little bit more.
Definitely clean.
Her dad's back there token down before the court that morning. He had a little bottle under his arm that saved him. And I thought, I'm good.
Yeah. It's crazy the shit that we can come up with to like try to pass a drug test. It's way easier just to not do drugs to pass the drug test.
Yeah.
Because you got to strap it up. You got to keep it warm. You got to make sure it doesn't fall out. You got to sneak it and try to put it in the cup. Like there's all this shit. That's why I think, drug addicts are smart as fuck. Like we are.
And I thought I was
Yeah,
very intelligent.
I bet you did.
Very intelligent.
We all do.
And I taught him all of that stuff, because he's been on parole the whole time.
Yeah.
Off and on, off and on, off and on. Well, really not ever off, but always on,
Right.
and then go back and then stay a little longer on parole. And like, I'm just like, well, here, look, I've been watching these videos.
Yeah.
I've been on the computer, and this is what you're going to do. And, and so he put the bottle under his arm and he went in, and I said, I'm good. 7 days, I'm good.
Yeah.
Guess who pissed dirty?
You did.
I sure did.
And guess who looked like a saint?
Probable cause for my child to go back to foster care.
Damn it.
My daughter was 6 years old and grabbed a hold of my leg with everything she had.
Yeah.
Screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
I'm not going back. I want my mama.
6 years old and understands that.
Oh.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Man.
Then once again, a judge said, you have to change your entire life.
Yep.
And it starts today.
Yep.
I said, what do I do?
Yeah.
Where do I go? What do I do?
That time, I'm sure you're thinking, I changed my fucking life 7 days ago, and this shit isn't changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't do what I was told.
Yeah.
For sure.
We never do.
No, I went back straight home and started trying to get high again. I just couldn't. It was over.
Yeah.
It was over. Like I couldn't, it didn't matter how much I did, how I did it, because at that time I was putting a needle in my arm. And once you do that, it's just
it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
So
it's a whole other high. It's
Yeah.
because it's not the high you're chasing, it's the rush you're chasing, and it's just like,
It's the devil.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so even that wouldn't get me high.
yep,
And I continued trying to get high through the time and day I was supposed to be in treatment once
yep,
again.
yep,
And I called the treatment, I called my caseworker. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done it again.
yep,
You know, I don't have any concept of time
right,
or days
yeah,
or anything.
yeah,
I said, I miss my day. I miss my time. What do I do? She said, well, call them and find out when you can come back. And so that's what I did. And then they gave me another date. And
yeah.
so I got there early. I was there. And I was like, this is not going to work. I said, I'm going to do this because I was told that this is what I'm going to do, but it's not going to work. I've tried. And I was so desperate to find something that worked.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't have any children, I didn't have any parents. It was all over. And I had absolutely no hope whatsoever that any of it was going to work for me
right,
because I'm so unique.
yeah, you're so special.
Of course. I filled out my application so fogged up. I didn't know what I was doing and why I was there. I just was finally doing something somebody told me to do,
Yeah,
which I never
right,
have never ever done before.
yeah, started listening,
Authority.
hearing it, yeah,
Yes, authority was always so
yeah.
not me.
And that's part of that surrender process is like, okay, I don't fucking know. Somebody else knows. So you know, you have
Surely
to start.
somebody else knows.
Yeah,
I
they
wasn't
got to.
sure
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
knew, but there
Comes
was
into that trusting process.
yes, and
Yeah,
so I went in, and those girls, it was all girls facility, and they thought I was there to whoop all of them because I was like, I have this permanent,
yeah.
you know,
Resting bitch face.
yes, I
Yeah,
have that,
yeah.
and that I will always have
Yeah.
that.
Comes natural, doesn't
Yes,
it?
and so I say that's my permanent tick, and I will
Yeah,
have it forever. And y'all just
yeah.
don't worry, I'm not mad.
Build a bridge, get
Yeah,
over it.
you're right.
Yeah,
Um, but I walked in that facility not thinking that it was going to work for me, and somewhere along the way, I don't even know what was said or who said it. I remember that the girl that drove the bus always said, Shannon, who got you here? And I'd be like, DHS got me here.
yeah,
Hating the world and
yeah.
everybody in it,
Blaming everybody.
including myself.
Yeah,
Hated myself.
yeah,
And finally, one day I said, you know what? I got myself here. And I became someone
yeah.
that wanted to stay clean because I wanted to stay
Right,
clean.
right.
And that
Yeah,
is the only way,
yeah. Absolutely.
the only way that it worked.
Yep,
Otherwise, it was
yep.
just like riding that bicycle in place, going nowhere.
It's all about that desire and how it's like, okay, you know, my desire has changed. I don't want something. I need this
Yes.
because this isn't what is working for me. This
I
isn't.
was so
Yeah,
tired. I was so sick and tired of
yeah,
being sick and
and
tired
tired. Yeah,
and seeing people just be so upset that I've arrived. You know what I mean?
yep,
Like it was always the dope man's here. Yay.
yep,
What you got? What
yep.
can I get?
That
Blah, 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 blah.
excitement. Yeah,
And then it got to a point where Shannon's here.
yeah. Fuck.
Hide your cigarettes. Hide your dope.
Yeah,
She's going to get it, you
yeah.
know.
Roasting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Nobody wanted me even on their couch.
And you felt that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It
like,
was
fuck.
bad.
Yeah.
Desperation set in. There's
Yeah.
got to be another way.
Yeah.
And finally I learned that I had a disease, that I wasn't a bad person,
Yeah.
you know, that I was sick
Yeah.
and I needed help.
Yeah.
And I needed to ask for help instead of doing exactly opposite of what anybody ever told me to do. Mama, daddy, cops, courts,
Yeah.
doctors. You tell me
Yeah.
to do something, I'm going to do total opposite.
Right.
That's the kind of
Yeah.
girl I was.
Yeah.
And today I know that It's not someone trying to tell me what to do, it's someone giving me a suggestion, something that worked for them that is working for that could possibly work for me.
Yeah.
And I learned that, this program is steps. And so
Yeah. There's a process to it. Just like
every
there's a process to coming to that rock bottom, that understanding. There's a process to coming to that awakening, and
yes,
that spiritual part.
yes,
There's a process to everything. Just like there's a process with DHS
yeah,
and the court system. You go to your hearing, you have a court date set, you come back to court, then you meet up with your lawyer, and all of that. There's a process for fucking ordering food at McDonald's.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything in
And
life is a
yeah,
process
it's a
today.
process. And like we were kind of talking about this before the show, is like, it's not about the destination.
Right.
It's about the process. And the process is what is the healing. And I talked about this in the first episode, is the process is the miracle. But we think, we get so caught up in, oh no, the miracle is what happened. No, the miracle is what's happening.
Yeah.
And that's
So
where
fabulous.
that's where we get the healing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just a new way to live.
Yeah.
And so, they told me to work steps. They told me to get a sponsor.
Yeah.
They told me to, learn how to pray and meditate. It's
Right.
not religious, but it's
Right.
spiritual.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I can
Yeah.
hold on to that,
Yeah.
you know.
And there's such a dogma on the words, like being spiritual, that we identify that with a religion, and so we think that we have to go to that religion to be spiritual, but it's really the opposite. We let go of the religion, and we let go of everything that we've ever been taught, and we go back to understanding and going within and saying, okay, Spirit, just guide me.
Right.
Just teach me.
Guide me.
Yeah.
That's the fabulous
Yeah.
part. When you can be honest, open-minded, and willing,
Yep.
and be able to take suggestions,
Yep.
life gets so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, because then you're not trying to make your own flow.
Right.
You're going with the natural flow that the higher power is already lined out for you.
Right.
It's already there. That's the funny thing, is like, in our addiction and not in our addiction, we want to make our own path, and we want to make our own way and create things that we want. But really, it's more of, okay, so the higher power has already got this path lined out. And while I'm over here trying to make my own shit and make things happen, the universe or source or God or spirit or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's like, dude, what the fuck, man? We have got all this lined up. Like, this is so beautiful for you.
So beautiful.
But you're over here trying to do some shit that doesn't even go along with this. And
best thinking.
Yeah.
My best thinking got me.
Yeah.
Jails, institutions, and spiritually dead.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And then, and so I found a new way, and I started working steps.
Yeah.
That step one is like so important. I mean, they're all so important.
Yeah.
But
the
first one, knowing that I can't take, drink, do anything that's mind altering.
Completely powerless.
Because if I don't have it, which I have a problem with all of them, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But if I say, well, alcohol wasn't really my problem.
Right.
So I think I can just drink socially. You know? Absolutely not. I have to know in step one that I cannot do anything mind altering.
Yeah.
Because it will lead me right back. Right back. Because if I get drunk, it's not going to be enough.
Right.
So then I'm going to put something marijuana on top of.
Yep.
marijuana's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put some cocaine
Yeah.
or methamphetamine or
Yeah.
acid or whatever.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it, which leads to a spiritual death.
Yes.
You know, and like my thing too was, you know, I would drink, and then I would get with a sexual partner, and
Yes.
like what I didn't understand the consequences of all that, but it kills me spiritually.
Absolutely.
Like when you go and you just get foobarred, and then you have sex to have that feeling too.
Yeah.
And then you've made this deeper divine connection through sexual intercourse, that now you're fucking connected to this person.
Yeah.
And
take
you
them
just
down through there too.
Yeah, and then you just took on all their baggage, and without even having that understanding, like, damn, like, so now I've taken their spirit into my spirit, you know, and now I'm going to carry their baggage without even knowing it. And now I'm wondering, you know, why I'm having all these fucking issues. And it's because your mind has been altered, and then your spirit's been altered, and then you're just fucking sleepwalking again. And it's so difficult. But like, those are things that we don't understand that come with that. Like, you know, when I was in Quapaw, there was a counselor there. His name was Derek. And he explained it like, I'll never forget it. He said, life is like a credit card. You know, you can swipe that fucking credit card until you max it out.
Right.
But that bill is coming later, and you're going to have to pay for that shit.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, but that bill's coming. And so whatever you swipe that life credit card on, get ready, because you're going to have to fucking pay for it one way or another.
Absolutely.
And so that's what that one drink does to me, or that's what that one drug does to me, or that one sexual partner does to me. And like, I realize that now, like, I can't fucking have just one of those.
No.
And it's you know, maybe I could go out and I could have one beer, but 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months later, I'm like, well, fuck, I had one beer.
I got away with it.
Fuck, I can do it again.
I'm going to do it again.
And that's that manipulation of ourself. And that's how strong that addiction is. Like, fuck, dude, you can do it.
Yeah.
Because,
one turns into two.
Because while we're not in active addiction, our addiction is still active.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole other show.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, it is.
I could get into a lot.
Because that addiction is sitting there pumping weights,
right?
Fucking taking steroids. It's fucking getting strong as fuck.
Yes.
And it's building. It's building. And it's building. But while it's getting stronger, your angel side, you know, your true self, your higher self, it's getting stronger too. Right. And so that spiritual warfare is fucking just battling without you even knowing it, because you know, it's like faith. Like, we can't see that.
Yeah.
But what we can do is fuck up once, or keep going and in this recovery lifestyle, and it's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And eventually, I think that our spiritual side, our higher self, is so strong that it can defeat the demon and the evil and the addiction, no matter what.
Right. If you stay in it.
Right. If you stay focused and you
in
stay
that program and you do something different than what you were doing back then. Like, even though I took all the drugs out of the equation, I got clean in treatment. You know, they said, you know, go to meetings every day. I'm like, what? What? Wait a second. What? Every day?
Yeah.
But wait a minute. I got high every day.
Right. You went to that dope man's house every day.
Every day.
No matter what.
Hours.
Right. No matter what.
I can't go to 1 hour.
Yeah.
And sit there for 1 hour to maybe hear something that's going to save me. Yeah. Like, maybe not save me today, but it might save me.
Something might click, and that seed is planted.
And so that angel wins over one more time.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, so I have to replace, because I was addicted to the lifestyle. Right. I was addicted to the running and gunning and going, even when I didn't make any money, even when I didn't make any dough. I still wanted to run and gun and go because everybody loved to see me coming. Right. You know, and it was hard for me to figure out that I am powerless.
Yeah.
over my
Yeah.
addiction.
I think that is
That was really, really
yeah.
hard. Like, oh no, I've got power.
Yeah.
I've had power all this time.
Yeah.
You know.
In all the institutions and rehabs and all the stuff that I've been through, you know, like a lot of the speakers, and you're one of them that I've experienced. They come in and they talk about step 1, step 2, and step 3, and it's on repeat. And like you know, when you're in those institutions, you get so sick and tired of
Oh
hearing
yeah,
those
I
groups, and
know
it's like,
it.
damn, dude, like we got another fucking hour group,
On
and
step one.
on step 1, step 2, and step 3, blah blah blah,
Right.
and if it's not this speaker, it's the next speaker,
Yes.
and they're gonna be talking about the same shit. But like, I think why they do that is because those are the 3 steps that are gonna guide you for the next.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah, like it's
The
crazy.
rest of your life.
Yeah.
And 1 gets you ready for 2,
Yeah.
and 2 gets you ready for 3.
Yeah.
And so without 1, you can't even get started.
Right. Because
you can't even get started.
Yeah. And
you have to surrender.
Yeah, and
completely.
understanding that like you're powerless
Right.
is actually doing the exact opposite and
Oh,
giving
it's
you all the
so-
power.
Such freedom.
Yeah.
It's such
Yeah,
freedom.
you can start to gain power by understanding that you're powerless and letting go of that.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, and I think
amazing.
that's
I like that word better.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really good topic for this show. Is like you're powerless. We're all powerless. I'm powerless. Everything is powerless. The only thing that has power over the powerless is that addiction. But
Right.
then once you become powerless, you gain power over that addiction.
Over your reaction
Yeah.
to things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really
Yeah.
the only power we have is how we react to whatever it is that's happening to us.
Absolutely.
You know, and as long as I go to meetings and I listen to people that have some
Yeah.
recovery time,
Yeah.
I learned how to deal with things that hit me hard.
Yeah.
You know, my mother passed away not too long ago.
Yeah.
10
And you have 10 years clean,
years.
and you're a sponsor.
I am a sponsor of many,
And
many women.
that's awesome.
They say 5 is
Yeah.
probably enough.
Yeah.
Like I've had 15, 16 at a time before.
Wow.
I don't right now, but like
Yeah.
because you know it is a lot.
Yeah.
But I want everyone to stay
Right.
clean. I want everybody to
Right.
get it.
Absolutely.
And it's just like it's an honor for someone to ask me to be their sponsor.
Right.
And so it's hard for me to say no.
Right.
Even when I have
So
15
much going
or
on.
16
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, okay.
And doing that, that's really, I mean, giving that message away and guiding other people into a direction. Like it's not like a sponsor has all the fucking answers, but a sponsor
No.
has the experience to be like, yo, this is
Yeah.
what worked
You can
for
go
me.
ask Julie. 'Cause
Right.
I know Julie's been through
Right.
it.
Right.
She's done that before.
Yeah. You have resources, you have
Right.
the experience. I mean,
don't
that's what
have
it's
to
about.
know everything.
But would you say that because you had sponsees and you have because it's not about how long you've been clean.
No.
It's about what you're doing with that time that you're
Right.
clean.
Right.
And you would say that really kept you in that state of mind of, okay, I've got this, I can do this. I don't need this other shit when your mother passed.
Oh yeah. Well, when my mother passed, I was really nervous. Like, and my mother had liver failure. And so, you know, what I had learned through recovery is to talk to people that have been through it.
Yeah.
And so I called people that I knew had been through it, you know, and then there's this one person that's become like a brother to me,
Yeah.
you know, and he had just lost his stepmom and he actually went step by step through it with me.
Yeah.
And so I did
That's incredible. Right.
exactly what he told
Right.
me he did for his mom.
Yeah.
And then that's what I did with my mom.
Yeah.
He said he gave her her first dose of morphine. And like, if I hadn't heard him say that, I would have been like, I don't want to touch it
Yeah.
because I'm an addict.
Yeah. Scared
Morphine's
of it.
not my thing, but
Right.
you know.
Yeah. It's fucking narcotics.
But I did it.
Yeah.
And I squirted that morphine in her mouth and we said goodbye. And I said, I love you. I will always love you. And I said, you're going to a better place.
Yeah.
And she said, keep teaching those people, Shannon.
Yeah.
I said, Mama, I'm going to keep teaching those people. And it was
That's awesome. That's awesome.
a beautiful moment.
That's awesome.
And it was all because he told me what he did.
Right.
So I did exactly what he did.
Right.
You know, and I crawled up in the bed with her.
Yeah.
And I stayed right there holding her hand.
Right.
Cheek to cheek until she took her last breath.
It's amazing that, like,
had I been high,
it's amazing,
dude.
Yeah.
Shoot.
You'd have probably turned the morphine around and went right in your own mouth.
Right.
Because that's how sick we are. Yeah.
And so her death turned into a beautiful moment for
Yeah.
me.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's hard. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard every day.
Absolutely.
That I can't pick that phone up and go, Mom, this bitch said this to me and
Yeah.
I don't like her. And what am I going to do? And, you know, and she's like, I'm praying for you, Shannon.
Yeah.
You know, and just hearing that.
Yeah.
She's so spiritual and so into all of that you know, she never stopped praying for me.
And I'm sure that even though she's not physically here, that you still hear those words.
Oh, yeah.
And see that in everything that you do.
Absolutely.
Because that's how the spiritual world works. It's in everything. It is everything. It's all things. And
I was still in active addiction when my father passed. Yeah. And they, I don't know if they asked me to speak a eulogy or I asked to speak a eulogy. Yeah. I'm not sure, but I don't remember a word. Not one word that I said, except for at the end of it, I said my dad was cool as night baseball because that's what my dad always said. Yeah. And, you know, when it gets cool in the summertime, it goes nighttime. It's cool.
Yep.
So and it took me a long time to figure out what cool as night baseball was.
Yeah.
But like I remember saying that. I remember not even having a dress to wear to his funeral.
Yeah.
And you know, one of my customers went to some store and stole one for me and brought it to the parking lot of the funeral home.
Wow.
So I put it on and walked into the funeral.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Well, Shannon, I'm so glad you came on the show.
I'm so glad
and
I'm here.
I'm going to have you back because I'm sure there's way more that we can share with people.
In between all of that, but...
I love it. I love it. And having you on, you know, even though I'm a male and you're a female, you know, you showed me through your telling me your story that like it's okay to be strong and that strength comes with this process. And like it was very uplifting for me. And I know that it's going to be very uplifting for all of you. And anything that you can take out of this, please take it. It's free. And that's why we're giving it away. Yeah. You know, because not only do we want to keep it for ourselves, but it's a selfish and it's a selfless act.
Right.
And so we want to give this to you so that you can take it and you can say, you know, I'm not the only one going through this shit. And just like Shannon said, you know, she did exactly what somebody else told her to do. She did exactly what someone else has already been through. Us addicts, we've been around the entire existence of Earth. And we don't have to pave a new way. These people out here have suffered before. They've suffered for us. And, you know, I've suffered for the addict that's coming behind me.
Right.
You've suffered for the addict coming behind you. And this is our fucking gift. Take it, please.
All we have to do is share.
This kind of wraps up episode 3. Man, I'm so excited. This is
I'm
huge.
Excited to be a part of.
This is great. I had messaged somebody. I was like, I need a strong female to be on this show. Like, I can't make this a bro show, you know? And because there's females out there, I think there's more females watching this than there are males. And so I couldn't have thought of a better, stronger female to bring on the show for the first time. So awesome. So thank you guys for watching. If you watched all of it, if you didn't, take what you can get out of it. Share, like, follow the Dirtbag Chronicles on Facebook, on YouTube. We are working as hard as we can to get this on more platforms. But I just want to tell you that we love you. We send you our light. We send you our peace. And if you're suffering, please reach out. just reach out. You can't do this by yourself. We love you, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.